Hello, everybody. Welcome to Illume's Tea of Life. Illume Digital is a spiritual magazine for the age of Aquarius, bringing you empowering stories from across the world. We have our first guest of the show, who's very special to me, and I've known her for quite some time now. And I took the idea of begin from your own home seriously and invited my own sister, Gayathri Nadar. Gaya, thank you so much for being here. How's the weather in Germany today?
It's freezing. It's snowing and it's freezing.
Wow, how are you feeling? How's your day been?
It's good. I woke up quite late. I just had my brunch and I'm sitting here talking to you. Going good so far.
Well, I'm really very excited that you are here and I'm starting this show, which is Tea of Life, where I want to explore certain things, which is one, I want to understand what spirituality is. And there are so many definitions, so many ideas out in the world. And I am still understanding the idea of spirituality. And the other thing is that I feel like it's the common man that never gets to come on a show and be interviewed. It has
Mhm.
been my experience that I have had so many conversations with people, homeless people on the street, really wealthy people, and all children, and all sorts of people, right? People from all walks of life. And I always find that people have this innate wisdom inside of them. And
Mhm.
that's the love and light that we all have within us. So I am starting this show to it's tea of life where people can come and spill the tea on life and spirituality. So thank you so much for being here. The
Thank
first
you for
question,
inviting me.
my pleasure. So the first question that I want to ask you is if you could share with me, what is that one
Mhm.
experience in your life that
Mhm.
entirely transformed you?
Transformed me.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's a very deep question to start with. I have to think
Sure.
about this. Um, I would say moving to Germany
Uh-huh.
because it was an experience that like helped me to grow in ways
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think would have been possible if I was still living in India with parents or in this protected environment. So when I was flying from India to Germany for the first time, I kept having this thought that, oh, I just have to get home and I will have food ready for me, or like I just have to get home. I kept forgetting that I'm not going home. I'm going somewhere that I have to make a home out of.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really strange. And then I also remember when I landed in Frankfurt, I had to take a train from Frankfurt to where I was going, and I was completely lost. I felt so overwhelmed because I had these huge bags with me, and I was hungry, and I was thirsty, and I didn't even know that I had to, now I have to make decisions for myself. Like if I'm hungry, I have to spend money and I have to buy food for myself. If I'm thirsty, I have to, like go to a shop, get a
Mm-hmm.
bottle of water, and then,
Mm-hmm.
and I still remember there was a very kind gentleman who saw who saw me, I guess, and thought that, okay, this maybe she needs help. And then he asked me, like, do you need help? And I said, yeah, I need water. It was so funny.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and he took me to a store and he said, okay, a bottle of water. And then he asked me, do you want still water or do you want sparkling water? And I said, oh, what? And then
Wow.
I said, yeah, still water. And then I got a bottle of water. And then he gave me some directions like, okay, you can go this way. This is if you want to do this, you have to. So even this smallest of decisions, I felt I was unable to make for myself. But then when I reached my destination and when I started living alone, I slowly overcame this barrier that now I'm responsible for myself. I have to
Hmm.
make my own decisions. And each day, of course, was a learning experience. Every day, new decisions to make, and then it just kept getting better at some point. But it also means that once you keep growing, there are like more and more decisions to make every day. It
Of
might be
course.
small decisions, it might be huge decisions, and sometimes decisions like they don't let you sleep at night. Those are those decisions.
Absolutely.
And then there are like small decisions like what do I eat today? What food do we cook today? What do I wear today? And do I want to do this today? Do I want to do that today? So it's like decisions and decisions. So I would say, in summary, this was the most like transformative experience for me, learning to live alone, and learning to keep myself happy, entertained, and learning to be self-reliant.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I completely, completely understand what that must have been like because, in India, we have a very different culture. We are not raised to be independent, and
Yeah,
it's a very, and we don't have a individualistic society as such, right? We have a very communal way
yeah,
of being, living, and
yeah.
more importantly, your decisions are made by someone
Hmm.
else most of the time,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
while growing up. As a child, as a young person, you're not allowed to make decisions for yourself.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
suddenly, when you go to a place where you are supposed to make decisions for yourself, it becomes so difficult and challenging. But
yeah.
but I'm so glad that you are here, and very true about making decisions. It's an everyday job. It
It just gets worse with time.
yeah, you can never ever get rid of it. But I guess that's what living is like, right? You have to make
Yeah.
decisions for yourself.
Decisions, choices. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
you are your own responsibility at the end of the day. So, would you say that you learn to take care of yourself?
Yes, I would say so. Of course, again, the initial years were quite difficult because I have, or let's say I never had the opportunity to cook food at home.
Hmm.
So I had to even learn this basic skill from scratch to, cook food for myself. And of course, I was in Germany, so if when I went to the supermarket, it was like a whole new world for me. Everything was in German. Of course, I knew some German, but not enough to, make these choices. Like, okay, what fruits, vegetables, everything was new. So it was not the same vegetables that we cook in India or like we saw in Indian markets. It was quite difficult, different. And I slowly then picked up that, okay, watching YouTube videos and cooking things. So, yeah, so I learned all of these things from scratch. And once that was out of the way, then I learned that, okay, I also need, let's say, some activity to keep, like my, physical movement and so on. That's the other side of taking care of myself, and also taking care of myself mentally. So trying to uh, I don't know, I read books, mostly fictional. I'm not a non-fiction person, unfortunately. I've never been able to get myself into it, but at least like stories that I can get lost into. And in Germany, you're always at least, close by to some sort of nature. So maybe it's like park, or it's, let's say, like a riverside, I don't know, like a promenade or something. So every weekend, for example, when I was living alone, I went out just to walk.
Mhm.
It's not that I have anything to accomplish or like any destination, just walking around the city, looking at the, nature, or like water, or like even just people watching, like having a coffee and looking at the people and how they are dressed, what they are doing, thinking like, what is their story? Why are they here, for example? So all these things, like it really helped me to keep myself and my mental health like stable and healthy. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I did learn to take care of myself. And now I can proudly say that I am, yeah, quite independent. I can do a lot of things on my own without any problems.
Absolutely. And you know
Yeah.
what? It's something that I really, really admire and respect you
Hmm.
for, and I really look up to you, uh, is the fact that you keep learning new things
Hmm.
all the time. You keep signing
Yeah.
up for classes, one after the other, you're just learning some or the other thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you travel so much, like you're always,
Hmm.
going and exploring
Hmm.
new places, cities.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, and that's very, very admirable. So my next question to you is,
Hmm.
what is spirituality according to you?
Spirituality. I never really thought about this.
Mhm.
Spirituality for me, I really have to think on this.
Take
It's
your
it's
time.
quite difficult because everyone has their own idea, that's for sure. Um, okay, I will say what I believe. It's nothing to do with religion or God, according to me, or like at least what I feel. Um, but believing that, there is some energy that's
Mhm.
out there, um, like that you can, share your thoughts with, let's say, um, or like believing in this energy that you can, share your deepest thoughts and emotions without judgment,
Mhm.
and you can sort of rely on this energy and know that things will fall into place somehow and everything will be all right again. Maybe I will put it that
Wow.
way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty interesting. And you are
Yeah.
saying that this energy is external. It's not
Mhm.
something that is, it's not you, it's not your energy, but you think it's
Mm,
separate from you?
I mean, in the end, it's both. Like I feel this energy also part of me, but
Mm-hmm.
I can also see it outside of me. Like, something that I can
Wow.
interact with. Maybe I'm interacting with myself when I'm sharing these
Mm-hmm.
deep thoughts or ideas or emotions, especially when I'm overwhelmed with something, or maybe I'm just interacting or like putting out my thoughts to the universe so that I just let the universe take care of it. So probably it's both inside and outside. I don't know. But
Ah,
I
absolutely.
think, yeah, it's sort
That
of both.
that makes a lot of sense to me, because here's what I
Hmm.
believe. And I'm not going, I think I would rather use the word know. What I know
Hmm.
is while universe exists outside of us, we are the universe
Hmm.
itself, you know. So it
Yeah.
like both, you know, we are in the universe and the universe is in us. So
Yeah.
it
Part
makes a
of,
lot,
yeah. Hmm.
it makes a
It's an
lot of
ecosystem. Yeah.
exactly. So it makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense to me. So
Hmm.
and you know, it is a difficult question whenever I ask people what they think spirituality is according to them. Um,
Mm.
the first thing to happen is a battle between what the world has said to them and what the world
Yeah.
has told us
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
spirituality
Yeah.
is.
I think this also comes with time. Like, if you had asked me this question probably 10 years ago, I would have had a much different answer. But then the more, or let's say the older you get, the more you
Hmm.
understand yourself and the
Right.
more you are aware of, what the definitions are for yourself, not what you are like, fed
Oh,
into.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense. And so here's my next question to you. What does being human mean to you?
Mhm. Being human.
Yeah.
Hmm. For me, being human means to accept that you cannot be perfect. Yeah.
Hmm.
This again comes from a lot of self-learning because
Right.
inherently, also being the elder daughter, I felt that I was pushed, so to say, to be perfect in
Mhm.
everything I do. And with time, I have learned that you cannot be perfect and you cannot, like you cannot always think that you can do it all yourself.
Right.
It's impossible that you cannot, you just cannot. It can be physical, it can be also, things that are quite in your head, in your mind,
Both
but
tangible
you
and
just
intangible.
exactly. So what, yeah, that's what I feel is being human, that you accept that you cannot do everything yourself and you cannot be perfect in everything that you do. And you have to just embrace the imperfections as well. And yeah, just learn to enjoy life and not like think, okay, if I didn't do this 100% accurate, that means, I'm a bad person or like I'm a bad human being. No, you just do what is, like you do the best based on the information that you have at that time. Of course,
Right.
you look back in hindsight, you might feel, okay, maybe I could have done this differently. Maybe I had made a different choice, different decision. But it's okay because you made that decision based on what you knew till that point of time. So it's okay. So this
Right.
is, I feel, being human is all about.
Right. Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm so glad that you understand now that you don't have to be perfect because growing
Yeah,
up, I was sold this idea that you are the most perfect child.
I'm not.
And I was problematic, right? And I always thought
Yes.
as this perfect person, right? Because you scored so
Hmm.
well always, you are the
Yeah,
strongest student, and I was
yeah.
a troublemaker when I was young. And I I mean, I can understand how, you know, that is a double-edged sword
But it's also
because
quite tiring because I recently saw a post that said you don't receive a medal if you, let's say, this person did not ask for help from anyone or something like this.
right,
So
right,
it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to accept that you made a mistake.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It's a difficult, I'm still learning, but yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, wow. Thank you so much. Okay, so My last request of you today in this show is if you were to share a message with the
Hmm.
world, what would
Hmm.
it be?
Wow. Um, I feel that people could be more empathetic
Mm-hmm.
because I feel people tend to forget that everyone has their own journey and you don't really know what someone is going through unless you talk to them and get to know them better. Um, but I feel these days it's quite easy to judge someone, let's say based on their Instagram profile or
Right,
something that they said. Um, Maybe you just need to give them a chance and get to know them better, and you will know better instead of jumping to your conclusions. So
right.
that would be my message to the people out there. Try to be, like less judgmental and more open to different perspectives.
Wow. That is a very, very profound message. Thank you so, so much for sharing this wisdom with all of us today. And, I'm really very happy with everything that you said today, and I can really resonate with it. And
Thank you.
your message is also very, very beautiful. So, thank you once again for being here, Gaia. And for all of you, thank you so much for sticking till the end. And please take a look at our magazine, Illume Digital. The link is somewhere below in the description box. Please subscribe to our newsletter, and I will see you again in our next episode. Thank you.
Bye.